Okay, step one is going to be to create your lesson activity just like you typically would if you wanted to make something that you could print out. My quick tip for you is to use PowerPoint or Google Slides or some other presentation platform in order to create your resources. The formatting is just so much easier than word processors for me to use. So we're using Google Slides here. And the first thing you want to do if you're creating a resource that's digital and printable is you're going to want your page size or your slide size to match a paper size. Typically, we have kind of a widescreen view, which is great for just digital activities on their own, but you're going to want to change it to paper size. Again, you go to File and Page Setup in order to change that, and then you select Custom. And now this slide will show up like this for students who are completing it digitally. And when I print it, it will fit nicely on a piece of paper. Also, make sure that you name your file. And so I've already named this one All About Me Poster. And then you can get to creating using shape tools and line tools. You can insert graphics. And like I said, I'm going to create a really basic poster today. So I like to put a little background here. I want my shape to be transparent. I want my border to be black. I want it to be a little thicker. I can kind of drag it to even it out. Okay. And now I want my poster to kind of have some different boxes. One tip, if your resource is going to be offered in a printable format and in a digital format, be sure that you're using squares or rectangles. It's just so much easier than students trying to navigate text boxes in circles. That's just a little tip I've learned along the way. And since I've already set these boxes to be transparent, I'm using the copy and paste function by using the shortcuts Control-C and Control-V. So if you hold down Control, you highlight the shape, you hold down Control and click the C button, and then you hold down Control and do V. You're going to copy and paste. And then you can see once I do that, I'm able to create different boxes. I can kind of move them around, and now I can insert some text boxes. These text boxes are ones that you would want, for example, printing out for your students. These are not boxes that your students are going to be writing in. And I'll show you why in just a moment, or typing in, I should say. When you have your text boxes, you can decide on some fonts that you want to use. This is a nice clean one. And then you can go ahead and label each of your boxes. So here's where we might want a picture of the student. If you're wondering how I'm moving around my text boxes, I like to use the arrow keys. I find that it's easier. My family. Some basic things that students show on All About Me posters, right? Facts about me. And maybe I want them to be able to number 1. Maybe I want 3 facts. Copy and paste again. 2. Okay. And this can be something I'm good at. Let's just say I'm good at, and then maybe we'll do kind of like a growth or goal setting one. I want to learn. Okay. So, and then maybe I'll add a little piece of clip art here. But generally, this is our step 1, is to create the page as you want it to look, as if you were to print it out. Okay, quickly before we go on to step 2, I do want to show you, I decided to insert this little piece of clip art here. I buy tons of clip art on Teachers Pay Teachers, but there's tons of free clip art too on TPT and So that's the little one that I chose. And the cool thing about a lot of clip artists on Teachers Pay Teachers is that they will also offer their clip art in what's called blackline art, which means that it's just black and white. So that's actually really ideal if you're printing and you're not printing each of the posters in color, or you want them to kind of print their own color their own, little activity. And then each of their posters will look different. So if you wanted to have both, you can duplicate the slide, and then I just have it open on another screen. I can copy and paste. So if you do want to do that, I suggest looking at Teachers Pay Teachers for clip art, because you can really easily find images that have both the color and black line. Okay, so now that we've done step 1, we're ready for step 2. We have our resource all created. Step 2 is to save the slide page that you're going to want students to interact with digitally as an image. I like to use the PNG option. So you go to File, Download, and I want it downloaded as a PNG. Okay, it will actually download this as an image for me. Okay. Then I'm going to head over here and I can click New Slide. And when I make a new blank slide, I can just delete all of this. And then I want to right click and go to Change Background. And when I choose my image, I'm going to browse and go to Downloads. And here we are, our poster. And the reason to do this is, if you take a look at this one, you can see all of our text boxes and graphics move. It's really kind of distracting and difficult for students to maneuver. So now we have this image as our background. So none of this stuff is movable, and we're ready to make it digital, which is going to be moving on to step 3. All right, we're ready for step 3, which is to make your digital activity ready for students. Some parts of your activity, you may want them to insert a photograph or picture. When you do that, don't be afraid to use the gray space on the outside to leave small instructions for students. For example, I might put here, insert a photo of yourself. And then I might just do the quick kind of pathway for them. And if you need to go and check, make sure you're using the right kind of language. So image and upload from computer. I want to make sure I use those words so that if their families are trying to help them, they know what to do. Upload from computer. Okay. And you can even put, if you want, there's a little arrow you could put showing them that. Right here is where you do that. Okay. And then in the boxes where you want students to type, you're going to insert text boxes that are blank. What I like to do for something that's printable like a poster, you don't really, you want it to look as kind of uniform as possible. So I just put the word type in the text box and kind of size it how I want it to be. You can change the size of the font so that students are ready to go if you need a bigger size font. Again, I'm using copy and paste. If you want instead for students to draw or insert photos or insert clip art for any of these things, you can always put those directions in the kind of sidebar too. So say you want them to draw a picture of their family. You see, I just copied and pasted that as well. Draw a picture of your family. Take a photo of the picture. Okay, and then I want them to insert it here. They can do that as well. Okay, so this is how you'll make it digitally interactive. As a little tip, let's make sure we don't forget to have them type their name. When I create resources that are like chapter questions or something that we're not going to want to print out and kind of present somewhere, maybe like a poster, you can also consider choosing a color for students to have the text boxes. So sometimes I choose a color like this light yellow color. It indicates that that's a typing box. You could do that too. I tend to, if it's going to be a poster or something, I prefer for them to just be able to kind of over type the words type here. And you're ready to go. So here's my challenge for you. Think about one of your favorite lessons that you like to do, maybe a back to school season or a lesson coming up that you're thinking you want to have ready, digital and print. Try going through this basic 3-step process and see what you come up with. I would love to hear about it in the comments, or you can always send me an email, jen@printableprompts.com. I can't wait to hear from you, and I hope this really helps you as you start planning for the new year. I hope this video helps you think about how you can prepare for back to school 2020 season. I hope you'll take a moment to subscribe for future videos. Happy teaching. I'll talk to you soon.